The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. A law by law summary. Rule number 1. Never outshine the master. Those who hold power above you are deeply sensitive to any display of superiority. If you make your masters feel outshone through superior talent, wit, or achievements, you risk triggering their insecurity and fear. The instinct of the powerful is to protect their position, and a subordinate who threatens that position, however unintentional, invites punishment or removal. The strategy is to make those above you feel brilliantly superior at all times, even if it means concealing your own abilities. Let them take credit, let them shine, and position yourself as the loyal instrument of their genius. Your time to ascend will come, but only when you are safely in favor, not when you have made an enemy of the one person with the power to elevate or destroy you. Law number 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Friends are dangerous precisely because of the intimacy they enjoy. Friendship breeds a sense of entitlement, and a friend who feels overlooked or unrewarded can turn to envy or betrayal with startling speed. The very closeness that makes friendship valuable also makes it volatile. Friends know your weaknesses, and when disappointed, they are not afraid to use that knowledge. A former enemy, by contrast, has everything to prove. Brought into your fold, he will work with a diligence and loyalty that no friend can match, because he knows the alternative. Keep your friends close, but never rely on them blindly. If you have no enemies, consider creating some. Opposition sharpens your edge and keeps potential allies in a position where they must earn your trust rather than assume it. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. People can only oppose what they can see. When you reveal your plans, goals, or desires too openly, you hand over the map they need to outmaneuver, block, or undermine you. The powerful have always understood that keeping one's true intention hidden is not a deception for its own sake. It is strategy necessary. What cannot be anticipated cannot be countered. The method is misdirection. Appear to pursue one goal while working towards another. Send people down false paths with confident gestures and plausible decoys. By the time they realize your true aim, the work is done. Cultivate a reputation for opponents if you like. It only makes the concealment more effective. The most dangerous players are those who look transparent but never truly are. Law 4. Always say less than is necessary. The more you talk, the more you reveal. Your anxieties, your uncertainties, your hunger for approval. Words once spoken cannot be recalled, and every unnecessary sentence is an opportunity for others to find weakness, contradiction, or something to use against you. Powerful people have always understood that silence is not emptiness, it is control. When you speak, say less than the moment seems to call for. Vagueness and brevity lend your words an air of depth and authority, because people will fill the silence with their own imagination, usually to your favor. The person who talks too much appears common and desperate. The person who speaks sparingly seems assured and in command. Economy of speech is one of the simplest and most underused tools of power. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is the invisible currency of power. Before you enter a room, your reputation enters first, setting expectations, shaping how people listen to you, and determining what they will be prepared to believe or forgive. A strong reputation can win battles, open doors, and terrify enemies before a word is spoken. Without it, even genuine talent and effort go unrecognized. Guard your reputation vigilantly and attack the reputations of your enemies with the same energy. Never respond to assaults defensively. That only lends them credibility. Instead, find the weak point in your opponent's standing and let public perception do the damage for you. Reputation is fragile and takes years to build. A single moment of carelessness can unravel everything. Treat it as your most precious and perishable asset. Law 6. Cut attention at all costs. In a world where everything is judged by appearance, invisibility is a death sentence. The unseen and the unheard are the powerless. Attention, even controversial attention, is the raw material of influence, and those who master the act of commanding it hold an enormous advantage over those who are talented but ignored. Make yourself impossible to overlook. Cultivate mystery, drama, and presence. Be larger, more striking, more colorful than those around you. Even negative attention can be turned to advantage if well managed. What you must avoid at all costs is being forgettable. The bold and conspicuous will always outmaneuver the modest and reserved, because power flows to those the world is watching. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Time and energy are infinite resources, and those who exhaust themselves in hand-on labor rarely rise to the top. The wise learn to harness the skill, knowledge, and effort of others to advance their own end. This is not exploitation, it is the fundamental logic of leverage. Why do yourself what others can do equally well or better? The critical element is credit. Results are what the world sees, and whoever stands visible associated with the result is who get remembered and rewarded. Acknowledge your helpers just enough to keep them loyal, but never so much that their contribution becomes the story. Present the work as yours and let the aura of effortless achievement grow around you. Those who produce the raw material will be forgotten. Those who presented it will be celebrated. Ensure to present the result. Law 8. Make others come to you. Use bait if necessary. When you force others to act on your terms, to come to you, to respond to your moves, to abandon their own plans, you hold a strategic advantage. The person who reacts is always one step behind. The person who sets the agenda controls the encounter. Initiating on your terms, in your space, at your chosen moment, is an enormous source of power. The method is the lure. Offer something so appealing, a gain, an opportunity, a flattery, that your target abandons their own position to reach out for it. Once they are moving towards you, they have surrendered control. The principle applies to negotiation, romance, rivalry, and politics alike. Never chase, always draw. The one who comes to you has already conceded the first advantage. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through arguments. Arguments, even when they are won, tend to generate resentment. The person you have defeated in debate may concede the point in the moment, but internally they feel humiliated, and humiliation hardens into resistance, grudges, and future sabotage. A victory through words is therefore a hollow victory, and often a costly one. Logic rarely changes minds that are emotionally invested. Demonstration, by contrast, is undeniable. When you act, when you show, prove, and produce results, there is nothing to argue against. Let your words speak, and let success make the case that no speech could. The goal is not to win the argument, it is to win the outcome. Those who prove their points through deeds gain lasting comforts. Those who win through arguments gain only temporal surrender. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Misery is contagious in ways that are not always visible. The chronically unfortunate, those who attract chaos, failure, and conflict, have a tendency to spread their condition to those around them. It is not merely a matter of mood. It is a transfer of bad patterns, bad decisions, and bad energy that can derail even the most competent person who gets too close. This is not heartless, but self-preservation. Protect your inner cycle carefully. Surround yourself with the energetic, the optimistic, and the fortunate, and their qualities will reinforce your own. Identify the carrier of doom early, and they are often charming, even sympathetic, and maintain a respectful but firm distance. Your associations shape your trajectory as much as your own efforts do.